Hello everybody, so this is Eric again, and then what we're doing in here today, this is my ultralight engine. I know it's look a bit rough, but this is half VW engine. What they used to do, they used to do the cylinder out, cut the block out, kind of cut and weld the cylinders, making it two cylinders. Believe it or not, this engine is actually made by a company called Hamel Engines, and they're in Arizona. And I think the guy making a huge mistake, not doing something right. Because of this, and because of another mistake of another person, I have to take it all apart and send the guy right now my piston, crankshaft, and all the inner gut to get balance. Now, let's get into the why is it happening. So, when they made initially those engines, you have over here the crankshaft, and you're gonna have the propeller adapter, but then they messed it up. When they were balancing it, they were putting here weight, and this is a counterweight for whatever they removed from the back crankshaft. Now, why is it a mistake? It's not really a mistake. The mistake was not to mark here the location and not marking here the weight in grams of whatever needed, because it's never going to change unless you're going to crash your airplane and need to be rebuilt. So they never did that. So yes, the guy that I got everything from probably removed it with the propeller one day and did not know where he put it. They never used the engine, and now it's a problem because the guy that actually built the engine, and they have serial numbers on them, never actually took it in consideration that this will be done, that you need to take care of it. So now I need to deal with it. So I'm gonna start taking it apart. Yes, I don't know what I'm doing, so it's kind of like there's 4 screws, 4 bolts here, 4 bolts there. There is a magneto, there is spark plugs, and if you don't know what is the magneto is here. It's produce power while the engine is running, so you don't need any electrical system. This weird spring over here, what it does, it's giving like kind of heat, you know, for the carburetor, so you're not gonna have carburetor icing. And there's a lot of different things that they did on this. It's also helped cool down the oil, but there's an oil cooler that you actually want to put over there. That's overall what it is. I just made a makeshift stand to put it on, and we need to start taking it apart. First thing to do is like, let's remove the spark plug and take the heads out and see how it's look underneath. So let me put some gloves and start to work. Okay, so let's start from this side. Let's start with the simple stuff. So we're going to disconnect the connectors actually for the magnetos. There is left and right, the hook up over there. We don't need to really take it apart from there. Whatever I do, I'm going to try to do in both sides. Now, the spark plugs, they're old bad spark plug. They're very rusty. I'm just gonna pop them up by hand. It's funny, it's rusty on the outside, but it's kind of brand new on the inside. Those are not going back there. Now, for numbers that you're gonna need to whatever you're gonna do on your airplane. So we want to remove this tube over here. Now to remove this tube, you're gonna need, depend what clamps you have, like those plumber clamps. This one is 8 millimeter, or it's a Phillips screwdriver. So you just open it up, shift it away, and this should be okay probably to move a little bit. I'm gonna do the other side as well. So those things sometimes tend not to want to come out. So what you want to do is actually to pry it with something, with a flat screwdriver or something like that, something small. And then you can actually spray a little bit WD-40 that will soften it and actually let it go out easier. What you do is just lift it a little bit, is a trick. Put a little bit WD-40, and while you're doing the other stuff, this will loosen it up. I'm gonna do it both sides. And yes, I'm sure that there's professional mechanic that will say there's another way to do that, but those mechanics are not here right now, and I am. So Now we do have here the heads, like, you know, the valve for the valve covers. I'm gonna pop them open. It's pretty strong. Yeah, they close pretty strong. I'm not even going to deal with it right now. I'm going to deal with it later. I want to remove the heads and to remove those parts. So for those heads, the way that they did it here, it's number 15, and it's 15 millimeters. And then over here, I see that they put actually like on the top on both sides, they end up putting on it actually a spacer to lift it up for some reason. I don't know why they did that. I'm gonna have to check later. Probably it's like because the length of the screw here, instead of cutting the screw shorter. And I will see, I'm maybe gonna end up cutting the screw shorter because I'm trying to save as much weight as possible. And if I can cut it and make it shorter, it will be good. The problem is if the thread is not going as far down, it's maybe going to be a problem. So let's start with this one. And then all the parts that we're going to actually open up, what we're going to want to do later is actually put them in the ultrasonic cleaner to take all the rust out or just replace them. Yes, I see why they did that, because this is not threaded all the way through. So this will be a problem. If this was threaded all the way through, I could just left this, but this is why they did the spacer. I did not know it before. I know it now. Now, let's open this guy. And then we have two on the bottom. Now, there is a certain torque that you want to close those, and there is a book about it. What I'm going to do when I'm putting actually everything together, I'm going to put a little bit Loctite on it, a blue Loctite also, just to keep it actually from opening in the air. And I'm maybe even I'm gonna do some research about red Loctite. Red Loctite supposedly you cannot open, but when you heat it up with a torch, it will just kind of melt away, and it's not going to be a problem to actually melt it away from here because it's an engine. It's supposed to be able to take the temperature. Now, there is two other bolts that go right through here. And for this, I will need to actually pop the cover here open. Let's see, you just need to get pulled. It's strong as hell. Let's see. Yeah, gonna need to go down. So it's sitting in a groove over here, really good. I'm trying to push it and it's not really cooperating. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to try to take a tool and gently actually lift it up. Oops, okay. So what I just took like one of the big sockets actually with a drill adapter, and you just pull it, and that's it. It's popped up. As simple as that. Now, let's see if this is gonna open. Yes, it's open easily and beautiful. It's like brand spanking new inside. It's a shame that I need to even open it, but I guess I have to do what I have to do. Right now, it does have some oil in it. I'm just gonna leave it upside down right now inside of a container. Let it actually clean a little bit, and we should put a couple paper towels right here. So you can see the valve over here, and then we have the two sockets. Problem is that the other screw over there and this one, they sit in right where the valves are, and this is going to be a problem. We have to actually remove the valve stem, actually the rocker arm, sorry, in order to do that. It's going to be a pain to do that, but let's try to see it. Put it like this. See, it's not going to fit in. Even a small one in an angle will not fit, specifically this one, because it's right underneath. And then there is some shims over here that grabbing it in the right place. So I need to open this, and then let's see, there is here the center grip, and then there's a grip here on the side that I need to remove right now. Let me see, I think that this is number 14, I'm not sure. Let's see, let's start with 13. And it is 13, and this one is probably 12. So this one is a 13. Okay, this one is open. Okay, was number 13. And then this is actually shifting just a little bit. And then we have the rocker arm push rods over there. And then we have another one over here. And this I saw that it's maybe like a 12 or 11, I'm not sure. Let's see, this one is 11 actually. I'm off on my numbers today. Now, to put it there, it's very tight here with the screw, so pay attention. Now, I did saw a video of a guy that had a problem with this specific part that I'm taking off right now, so pay attention to it. This aluminum piece ended up breaking with the time, and it's happened to him in mid-flight, and it's caused a lot of damage. So you need to be aware of it and probably replace this to actually metal part. Trying to say metal, I'm talking about steel, stainless steel. Now, this thing have a piece that's holding it from the back, a nut that I need to grab with my hand. So let me grab a tool. Let's see, yeah. Let's have a safety washer there. Okay, is this the right size? Yeah. Okay, now I can put gently the rocker arm, and then I'm gonna put here the bolt that I just took out. I'm gonna put it back right away there, so we're not gonna lose it. And then whatever I took out from here, I'm gonna just put back as well. We don't want to lose any parts. Now we have here our lifters. Again, they look like brand new. I'm gonna just put them aside for now. So okay, the engine is kind of really brand new inside, so it's too bad I have to do all this right now. It's really heartbreaking to do that. So I think the guy's name is Scott Castle. So Scott Castle, if you're ever gonna see my video, I'm not trying to piss you off. You need to be more professional and write the small information to save your customer the trouble of like taking apart entire engine just for balancing weight that you cannot really guess what it should be. And I will be talking to him about it. I'm gonna try to actually talk to him tomorrow and see when I can send this, and I want him to be able to actually pay attention for whatever needed, you know. Now, so this part right now is still held by those bolts over here. This is the head, and then we still have the pressure over here, so I'm just reminding you guys we have to pop this thing open as well. Now yes, I am using a long tool just so you guys can see actually what I'm doing. This is one. So supposedly this engine is a brand new engine. They were just sitting and getting moved from one place to another, and it caused a lot of abuse to it without it even running once. Okay, now we get in here to the problem that this part here actually don't let me like move like I should. Let's remove this as well. the other side, just everything. If it's not going out from one side, it's going to go from another. And because we have to remove this anyway. Now it is very stubborn, just so you guys know. It's like, even though I added over there some lubricant, it's still pretty sticky. I guess it's need a little bit more. And then all the oil that you put on it later can get cleaned out, so it's not a big deal at all. And if you're wondering, oh, why is not running the video after he's doing it, because if you see it on real time, when you're gonna do it on your airplane, and when you have to do it, you see one-on-one all the problem that will occur while you're doing it. Yeah, this is pretty deep. Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit stronger tool. Ice picks work perfect for stuff like this. Okay, it's a lot of WD-40 got in there. Okay, that's it. This is the magic. It just popped out after it got, so the point was, you guys see it popping out, and it did pop up. Now this we have to gently shake it. You don't want to cause any damage. Now I put it out, and I have here those rocker arm covers that I'm gonna need to replace. Although they look new, they have some marking and bands on them that I don't really like at all. Now I can look here and I can see that this engine was running a little bit because the valves are a little bit dirty. So this is something I'm gonna need to deal with later. They have a little bit carbon buildup, but it looks like someone opened it and cleaned it at one time. Okay, this goes here. Now, piston inside look actually pretty good. When I turn it, it's look pretty good. They have a small arrow showing you like toward the outside, not the propeller, away, like toward the airplane. There's an arrow. This is where, when you put it back, you need to take in consideration that the flat part's going backwards. So this is something very important to pay attention. Now, to take this thing out, you usually want to tap it a little bit with a mallet and see that it will actually gently pop out. Here there is a little bit silicone on the edges that someone tried to do a seal. I'm gonna have to clean all this because this is not really healthy for your engine over there. So I'm gonna make sure this is gonna pop out. Now there is a lot of rust here. This will be easier to clean. It's not really a big deal because it's right in the cooling ribs over there. Now I need to tap this a little bit. Let's try to do it the dirty way, just with this a little bit. Yeah, and then it's got loose, and then again we go into our trusty DW4. It's like the WD-40. Call it something else. Okay, so we're gonna let it soak for a minute, and it's gonna make it there. It's like instantly, it's gonna make it easier to move. I'm gonna give it a minute. I'm just gonna wiggle it so it's gonna loose up. So whatever holding it also is, they made again another mistake that they paint the heads while this thing was actually on. So I'm gonna need to see how to sandblast those because I don't want to have paint on it. It's believe it or not, will disturb the cooling on this. Now let's bring the piston down. Okay, then it will be easier to actually move out, because right now there is a less friction to pull it out. So when the piston is down, it will be easier. And then wiggle, 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 and it's actually already loose. And gently, 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 you leave it there for a second. Now, this is crucial. I don't care what mechanic you're talking to. All those people that know everything better than anybody else because their grandfather built an engine 10,000 years ago. You stop right here. You take a piece of paper and you put it underneath your case. Between, I'm gonna show it from the top. You're gonna put a piece of paper here, but in the bottom part between your piston and your case, so the piston don't hit the case and cause damage later. So let's do that. Go underneath it. Find area that is can get shoved into. And now I have a piece of paper kind of holding the piston for me from hitting very bad the bottom and causing problem. Now probably there is a tool for mechanic to do that. Okay, so this thing is out right now. Now I'm gonna pause it for a second. I really want to put a tape on it and mark what parts goes where. Actually, it got really dirty. Actually, I can do it right now, and this will be the right side, and I'm gonna write also right here. So if I get confused and I have the engine upside down, I know that right is right, left is left, so it will be easier. Then I will pop it out, and then the inside look kind of brand new. I don't think that this is aluminum because it's very heavy. And this one have numbers on it. It's C70JX. C70JX. Okay, so this was one part of removing this side. I'm gonna go do the other side, and then I'm gonna do another second video about splitting the block. Okay, as you can see here right now, we have the piston sitting on a piece of paper, but it will move when I do the other side, so I have to pay attention to it. So I'm probably gonna lift it and actually push it a little bit more in. That's it. But overall, this piston looked like it's kind of was probably working for very short amount of time, so I can go from there. Okay, don't forget like, subscribe and share, and I will show you the continuation of it after I done the other side. So this video 1, I'm gonna do video 2, splitting the case. Bye.